Good evening and welcome back to the Forest of Doom. I've been thinking recently that I've never actually completed a game yet on the channel, which isn't very good, so I'm going to try it with this one. It's, again, up to the same point that it always starts at. Jesus, there we go, we'll go east. The narrow path continues to cut its way through the tangled forest. Strange animal cries and noises echo through the trees. At last the path widens to approximately a metre across. Soon you arrive at a moss-covered wooden signpost, on top of which sits a large crow. The arms of the signpost read north and east. I think we've read all this before. Yeah, it's a very polite crow. Well, I don't have any crow. I mean, I don't have any gold. Turn north. Walking along the path, you hear footsteps and arguing voices ahead of you. Do you wish to meet their owners? Go on, man. You draw your sword and prepare to meet the owners of the arguing voices. Two tall, spindly creatures appear clad in tattered cloth, over which they wear chainmail jackets. They see you and and instantly stop their argument. They are hobgoblins and draw their swords to attack you. You must fight. Alright. I hit the first hobgoblin. Fight on. Woo! Oh yeah, and I've got quite good skill this time. You've defeated the first hobgoblin. Ooh, 5 miss. Yay! We might actually get through this. As long as we don't drink anything weird that will probably mess up our skill again. Whoop! I win. Find 3 gold pieces, a tiny brass flute, and 2 maggot-ridden biscuits. It was also a necklace made of mouse skulls. And the next, Jesus, this is low. 1 second. Alright. To the left of the path, you notice a large hole in the ground with a diameter of some 3 meters. Walking over to the edge of the hole, you see it sloping into the depths of the earth. We've done that one before. At last the trees begin to thin out and shafts of sunlight beam down through the gaps on either side of the path. As the path widens, you see a large cave entrance set a few yards back on the right. Yes, we want to explore the cave. Slowly peer into the cave and see the huge shape of an ogre walking slowly over to a wicker cage with a bowl of water in his great hand. He's dressed in animal furs and carries a stone club in his belt. There appears to be a small creature jumping around inside the cage. Pick up a rock and throw it. I possess the glove of missile dexterity. Yeah. You reach into your backpack and pull out the purple silk glove. It fits snugly on your hand. You then bend down and pick up a good-sized rock and take aim. You throw the rock with all your might at the ogre, and it flies like an arrow to hit him on the side of the head, knocking him unconscious. The creature in the cage jumps around even more than before. As you take a closer look at the creature, search through the contents, or leave immediately. Take a closer look. Inside the cage, a small, sinewy creature with brown, scaly skin is jumping up and down. He is a goblin. Round his neck hangs a black shiny rod on a leather cord. If you want to unlock the cage door, turn to 117. But that's what we want. We can't just leave. You unlock the door and step back, drawing your sword in case the goblin tries to attack you. He picks up a wooden stool and, waving it in the air, kicks the door open and charges at you screaming. No. That was nice of him. I think we should win this. Well, that was quick. You unlock the door and step back, drawing your sword in case the goblin tries to attack you. He picks up a wooden... I've already fucking fucking read it. Sorry, I win. You bend down over the lifeless body of the mad goblin and examine the rod around its neck. The rod is made of ebony, and there is a screw thread at one end. You're excited to see the letter G neatly inscribed at the other end of what must be the handle of the dwarfish warhammer. You put your find in your backpack and gain 1 luck point. Do you wish to search? Go for it. There is not much of interest to be found in the cave. A straw bed, stone jars, a table and a chair are all that is immediately visible. On a stone shelf above the bed, a small silver box catches your eye. Go for it. You gently prise the lid off the box, but as you do, a yellow gas escapes and envelops your face. I don't. The gas is toxic, and your eyes start to water. You cough and hold your breath whilst running around the cave trying to escape from the gas cloud, which envelops you. Your lungs feel as though they are bursting. You are forced to inhale. Your skill is reduced by 2 and your stamina by the amount of 1 die roll. Roll 1 die. It's not too bad. Yeah, I'm still alive. You're relieved to see the gas cloud fade away. You put the silver box in your black backpack and leave the cave immediately to continue your quest northwards. I think though I have one of these, so I can just do that. Screw your gas cloud. Walking along the path, you do not notice a rope noose hidden beneath some fallen leaves ahead of you. Your foot catches in the noose, and suddenly you are hauled into the air by the rope, which is tied to a sprung tree. In a second, you are hanging upside down, suspended by your trapped foot. Test your luck. If you're lucky, your sword remains in the scabbard, and you're able to use it to cut yourself down from the man trap. Lucky? You are lucky. Woo. You get to your feet and curse, brushing the dirt from your clothes with your hands. You are tempted to wait around to discover who set the trap, but decide against it. Continue northwards. And you notice a knotted vine hanging down to the ground from a tree on your left. You look up and see a roughly made treehouse amid the branches. Yeah, I want to climb up there. You reach the top of the vine and scramble onto a wooden platform. A sheet made from leaves and ferns covers the entrance to a small covered living area. As you approach, the sheet is thrown back, and from behind it steps a large, hairy, ape-like creature, wearing only an animal hide loincloth. He's holding a large bone in his right hand, and grunts at you. He is an ape man. You may draw your sword and attack him, jump off the platform to the ground 5 meters below. No, I'm going to attack. Let's fight. I thought I restored my skill. What the hell? I mean, it's still pretty decent, but... Damn it. Oh my god. Come on. Wait, one more. Yeah. Double 6. You step over the body of the ape man and enter his living area. Animal bones and rotting fruit litter the floor. The ape man's bed is made of moss and lichen, or lichen or whatever, and seems to be crawling with bugs. You shudder and step back out onto the platform. You then notice a copper bracelet around the ape man's wrist. Go for it. You twist the bracelet into place on your wrist. A powerful feeling surges through your arms and makes you jump. Your arms feel strong. You now possess a bracelet of skill which adds 1 point to all future dice rolls when computing your own attack strength during combat as long as you wear it. Woo! So, I should now... So why wasn't my skill higher in the last one? I don't know. Soon the path leads out of the trees onto a large plain with tall grasses. Beyond it you see rising ground and further off some low hills. The path splits and goes in 3 directions. You want to go west, east or north? Let's go east. The path ends at a junction. The way south leads back to the forest, so you decide to head north. As you walk along the path through the waist-high grasses, you watch the grass rippling in the wind. Soon you get the uncomfortable feeling that the grass has a will of its own and is moving independently of the wind. Oh my god. Suddenly a clump of grass stretches out across the path and wraps itself around your leg. Other clumps of grass try to grab your arms and legs. You realise that you're surrounded by tangleweed. I have a potion of it. Before the tangleweed can drag you to the ground, you manage to grab the bottle containing a potion of plant control from your backpack and gulp down its contents. As if touched by flame, the tangleweed releases your limbs and retreats from the path. You decide to run quickly along the path while the effects of the potion still last. Alright. As the path proceeds northwards, the grass becomes shorter and the ground starts to rise gently. Ahead, you can hear the sound of flying water. You soon reach the bank of a gently flowing river. There is no bridge, but you can see that the path continues north on the other side of the river. Standing proudly in front of you is a magnificent white beast, a half-man, half-horse. A bow and quiver of arrows are slung behind his back. He is a centaur. Try to start a conversation with him. You bid the centaur good day, to which he replies in a similar manner. It is pleasing to meet someone who is not attacking you on sight. You ask the centaur if he has any information which might lead you to your goal, but he does not know anything. He says that he does not wonder much these days as he is getting old. He just wants to earn a little gold for his old age. He offers to carry you across the river for 3 gold pieces. Go for it. What? Huh? You climb onto the centaur's back and he turns to walks into the river. The water is a dark green colour and you wonder what kind of creatures might be lurking in its depths. Soon you reach the other side and you pay the centaur his 3 gold pieces. He thanks you and waves goodbye, wishing you good luck. You are now at the foot of some hills, and it is beginning to get dark, and you see the path winding its way north and up into the hills. You decide to camp under a great old oak tree to the right of the path and settle down to sleep with your sword by your side. You've been asleep for about an hour when a terrifying howl wakes you up with a start. It seems to be coming from the west some distance away. You look up and see a full moon in the night sky. While looking up, you suddenly notice a large black shape moving in the branches above you. You forget about the howling and leap to your feet, grabbing your sword at the same time, as the giant spider drops to the ground beside you. Its massive rounded body moves slowly towards you on black spiny legs. Not wishing to leave all your possessions, you are forced to fight. So my skill is back. Oh, I forgot to restore my stamina. I think we should be okay though. Yep, doing good so far. You are triumphant. You step around. What am I even going to do? I am going to take some of these. I want to save my healing one. You step around the bulbous mass of the giant spider and settle down again to a nervous sleep. You wake early in the morning and set off north along the path. The ground is quite steep now, as the path winds its way up into the hills. By the time you reach the top, the sun is quite hot. All around in the distance, you see the tight green circle of darkwood forest. Mist still hangs in the tall grasses behind you. Ahead, you see a valley floor bathed in sunlight. All is quiet as you start down the far side of the hill. You see a junction in the path. You may continue north. Eventually the path levels out and you find yourself on a valley floor. The path continues north, but also a new path leads off to the west. Go that way then. Walking along the tranquil valley floor, you arrive at a junction in the path. You see that the way south leads back to the hills, so I decide to dismiss that option. Yeah, continue west. Oh my god. To the right of the path, you see a stone wall with a bucket and turning handle. I get a feeling I'm going to be attacked, but oh well. A ladder runs down the inside of a well to the water below. However, there appears to be a tunnel just above the surface of the water running north. It is circular and has a diameter of 1 meter. You may send the ladder to look down the tunnel. Go for it. Climbing down the ladder, you do not notice that a rung is missing. You slip and lose your footing. If you're lucky, you manage to hang onto the ladder. If you're unlucky, you'd fall and plunge the water below. Just your luck. Is that good? You were lucky. At the bottom of the ladder, you see that the tunnel runs quite a distance north. You are surprised to see that it is lit by torches at irregular intervals along its length. You wish to crawl along the tunnel towards free flight. The tunnel continues north until it lasts you that way. You soon arrive that way. Ahead, you hear high-pitched voices frantically calling to each other. The tunnel ends at a small cave entrance. Suddenly, an arrow flies out the cave towards you. Test your luck. Is that good? You are lucky. Oh god. I don't really get how the luck works in this. Oh, hello. You press on down the tunnel into the cave entrance. The roof of the cave is no higher than the tunnel, and you are unable to stand up. The cave is very small and filled with tiny bits of furniture and all manner of objects and curios. Standing in the middle of the cave are two green-skinned creatures with small bodies and large heads. They have pointed ears and long noses, and their clothes are made from sacks. They appear to be very alarmed and charge at you with their daggers. You must fight with gremlins, as you are unable to turn around and escape. Oh, God. So I've got to beat them quick. No, doesn't go down then. It's just the initial one where it was down. Oh, cool. Deagle. Kill a creature who hates bright light. Oh, cool. I feel like that's a reference. There are many handmade clay figures of humans' hands in different positions, covering every available surface area. They are painted with bright red glaze. In a copper vase, you find 3 gold pieces, which you put in your backpack, and there is nothing else of use or value to you in the cave. You leave by crawling back the way you came to the junction, taking a clay hand with you. Back at the junction, you may go east, or keep on going south. Soon you're back at the first junction, south. Reach the end of the tunnel, about step out onto the ladder on the wall when you hear footsteps above you. Somebody is coming down the ladder. If you wish to reach out in an attempt to grab the first leg that comes into view, rather wait until, yeah. A small green-skinned gremlin steps off the ladder to enter the tunnel. He stands no more than a meter higher and is surprised to see you crouched in the tunnel. So many gremlins. I guess because I'm still crawling or whatever. Yeah. There we go. Might as well. Inside the backpack you find some elven bread which will restore 4 stamina points if you eat it. You also gain 1 luck point. You crawl out of the tunnel and step onto the ladder. On the wall of the well, you climb out the well and return to the path. Which way are you heading? West. Walking west along the valley floor, you pass a junction in the path which leads south, back into the hills. You decide to keep on walking west. The valley floor is covered with lush green grass and is very flat. You soon arrive at another junction in the path. Continue west. To the left of the path, you see a small man with a long grey beard sitting cross-legged on the top of a huge mushroom. He's wearing a bright red jacket and cap, and his trousers are black and end at his knees. He's asleep. You may either give him a gentle push to wake him up, or you may... The small man wakes up with a start, loses balance and falls off the mushroom. He curses as he lands on the ground, but jumps back onto the mushroom shouting, "Who did that? Who did that?" He looks at you and frowns. You may attack the gnome, or you may attempt to start a conversation. You approach the gnome with your arm extended, offering to shake his hand, an offer which he accepts with a doubtful look on his face. You then tell him of your quest, how you met poor Big Leg, and why you decided to help with Walter's Stonebridge. You ask him if he has any information which might help you. He replies that he does not care much for dwarfs, but he does some information that might be of use to you. However, that information will cost you either 5 gold pieces or an item of treasure from your backpack. If you wish to pay, I can't. If you wish to give an item... I'll tell him what I think of him and set off west along the path. You arrive at another junction. Well, junctions here. The path makes a sudden turn to the right and heads north across the valley floor. To the left of the path you see a large pond with a small wooden hut with a thatched roof, which I want to investigate. You walk around to the front of the hut and see a large blue vase, or vase, whoops, I don't know, on a small porch. There is nobody about. You open the door of the hut, there is nobody inside, and the hut is also devoid of any furniture or objects. You walk outside again and inspect the blue vase. You look inside, but despite the sunlight, and are able to see beyond the rim. The vase is filled with an eerie blackness. You shake it and hear a rattling sound. You may drop the vase, put your hand inside, ignore the drop it. The vase drops to the ground but does not break, although cracks appear all over it. You begin to feel a vibration, and then you notice cracks appearing all over the porch and the side of the hut. Vibrations become stronger, and your whole body starts to tremble, and your head feels as if it is about to explode. Stamina. Yes, I do. You quickly reach into your backpack and pull out a small cork bottle containing potion. You gulp down the liquid, a calm spreads through your body despite the chaos all around you. Suddenly the hut collapses and crashes to the ground. You decide to get out. It is time to get out of this place and run back to the path to head north. You gain 1 luck point. I just destroyed someone's house by dropping a vase. I'm a monster. As you walk across the valley, you see the dark green wall of darkwood forest looming up before you. The path leads directly into thick undergrowth, and soon you are walking between tall dark trees and thorny bushes. It is dark and quiet, and the path forks. If you wish to walk east, turn to 130, continue north. Amidst the trees to the left of the path, you see a small stone building covered with ivy and moss. Yeah, go on then. The building measures only 3 meters by 3 meters and has no windows. The door is made of stone and looks very solid. There is no handle, and there does not appear to be another way to enter the building. And then you notice a tiny keyhole in the stone door. Do you possess a silver key? No, I don't. You may try to charge the door down. Just return to the path. It's not going to open then. The path presses on northwards through the dense trees. And then it makes a sudden turn to the right and heads east. The path is so overgrown in places that you have to use your sword to cut through it. Your walk east is long and tiring. At last you reach a junction in the path. Looking at Big Leg's map, you decide to head north again in the direction of Stonebridge, and ignore the narrow path continuing east. The path opens out into a small clearing. To your right you see a pile of branches, grass and pieces of rag. There are some large creatures amongst the debris and old bones scattered about. You catch sight of something glittering. If you want to look more closely, turn to 57. Oh shit. You walk over to investigate the lair, but are suddenly aware of a dark shadow being cast all about you. You hear a loud roar above you and look up to see a dragon-like creature with 2 legs and green scaly skin flying down to its lair. A bolt of fire shoots from its mouth towards you. Test your luck. That good? You are lucky, thank God. The creature landing in front of you is a wyvern. It looks at you and opens its huge mouth to let out another burning roar. It's about 10 meters long, and its thick scales look hard to penetrate with your swords. You possess a flute. I possess a flute. When did I pick up a flute? That is the most random thing to have. The first Legend of Zelda game. Or, like, the first one for... I don't remember which one it was. I think some of you will know what I mean. Fluky fluting. Tame a flying beast with music. Did I just get a wyvern? Oh, no, it's just gone to sleep. You reach into your backpack and pull out the tiny brass flute. You have a strange feeling that you must play it now. Before the enraged wyvern, as you do, a soft and gentle music plays out from the flute, and a quizzical look appears on the wyvern's face. Its mouth closes and its eyelids start to droop. You are playing a magical flute of dragon sleep, and the wyvern is powerless to resist its soothing song. Slowly the wyvern slumps to the ground and is soon fast asleep. You walk around the motionless wyvern and start to rummage through its lair and the surrounding debris. You find a gauntlet made of plate iron, a throwing knife, 10 gold pieces, and a gold ring. You put the knife and the gold pieces in your backpack. Try on the gauntlet, try on the gold ring. Try on the gauntlet. You slip the gauntlet onto your hand and take hold of your sword. Slicing the air with it, you feel more than usually skilled with your weapon. You now possess a gauntlet of weapon skill, which adds 1 point to all future dice rolls when computing. Yes, it's good. If you wish to try on the gold ring, try it. Slipping the ring onto your middle finger, you are suddenly gripped by an agonizing pain. Well, one of them had to be something, didn't it? Eventually pain subsides, but you're unable to take off the ring. Right. Right. So, what does that mean? Anyway, so I'm back to the skill I was originally. Great. See, that's why you don't push your luck in this game. Walking along the narrow path, you suddenly hear the sharp crack of a twig breaking and whispering of low voices. You draw your sword and wait anxiously with your back to a large oak tree. Then from behind the trees opposite you step 4 men and a woman dressed in green tunics. Each looks menacing and they stand with swords and axes in their hands. The young woman steps forward and tells you that you are trespassing on their territory and you must pay a levy of 5 objects from your backpack or face the consequences. I spit on the ground and reply. Bandit woman steps forward with her sword raised, shouting, "Death to the intruder!" She is their leader and you must fight. Fight on. Yeah. Yeah, come on. One more. Ouch. Yes. Leader down. Steps forward with a sword. If you win. Next 2 bandits approach you. Time to fight. Okay. Whoop. Whoop. Yeah. Come on. Yep. I defeated them. Oh my god. Wow, that's powerful. Can I test my luck? I should really do that more often, but I don't really get how it works. There we go. Whoop. I really don't get how the luck works in this. Escape Darkwood Forest. A search of their clothing reveals nothing of interest apart from 2 gold pieces which you put into your backpack. You set off north again along the path and soon notice the trees beginning to thin out on either side of the path. Eventually the path leads out of the trees into a ploughed field. You're out of Darkwood Forest. Yay! The path leads through the field to a stone bridge over a clear stream. Beyond the bridge are small cottages and wooden huts of a village. A sign on the bridge reads Stonebridge. You cross the bridge and see 2 old dwarfs with long white beards standing by a cottage looking at you. Do you have the hammerhead from... Yeah, I thought that was coming. You failed in your quest to help the dwarfs, being able to... we didn't get the hammer, but we did survive and escape. So, I'm going to leave it there. This is going to be the last of Forest of Doom. One sec. Sorry about that. Yeah. So, I'm going to count this as completed. because I doubt anyone wants to see me go back through the whole thing just to get the hammer. So, there we go. Hopefully see you in another video. Bye.